Welcome to the Teacher Cell channel.
Hey there YouTube fans, how you going? Hey, I've got a few complicated things to talk about today, and it's around the topic of psoriasis, okay? So bear with me, I've just done a little bit of research and come up with a few interesting things. I've got psoriasis out of control at the moment. I'll try and take a photo later and show you, but it's all over my legs at the moment, and I might take a photo of the worst patch and then show you. But I kind of had an epiphany about what might be going on here. There's a few things. Okay, let's talk about one thing. So glucobay archibose is the active ingredient. Now I've talked about that before. It's good for diabetics. Now, just here's my disclaimer about this video. Check with your doctor before you do anything. This is what I'm going to do for me. It may be interesting for you, it may help you, but you know the whole disclaimer thing, right? Okay. What I found from research is there's a article called Comparative Histological Study on the Preventative Role of Archibose and Calcipotriol betamethasone in mouse model of psoriasis-like skin inflammation induced by imiquimod. Okay, imiquimod is a kind of topical cream for skin cancer, I believe, from my research. But this is my point about this, is that glucobay, which is archibose, was given to mice, and it's quite a, I thought it was quite a high dose. It works out to, they were given 500 milligrams per kilo to a mice. Now, if you work that out on me, and I'm really heavy, right, it would be 83 grams a day, which anyway doesn't make sense, but let's leave that aside for a second. Cut a long story short, this diabetes medicine seemed to help psoriasis type symptoms in mice, because I was doing research thinking, what if I change that's made my psoriasis worse? And I thought, well, it's my diabetes medicine. So this is really ironic that now that I've finally got really good blood sugars, for a while I've had out of control psoriasis. So one of the other things I've talked about on my channel is berberine. Berberine is a natural plant alkaloid that helps with diabetes and helps with blood pressure and helps with cholesterol levels, helps with your brain as well. It's quite an amazing herb. And here's the bad news. It works similar to a beta blocker as well, one of its functions. And beta blockers are known to interact. If you take beta blockers, you can get worse psoriasis. Okay, if you take beta blockers, which are for blood pressure, you can get worse psoriasis. It's one of the worst offenders. So you can get drug-induced worsening of your psoriasis, or it can create new patches on your skin. So what I probably have to do, and this is for my own benefit, and as I said, you might benefit from this. As I said, beta blockers are really renowned for making psoriasis work, making it worse, sorry. And lithium carbonate, which is for bipolar disorder, for example, that also can cause drug-induced psoriasis and make it worse. So, long story short, I may have to stop my berberine. This really breaks my heart because, I mean, at least for now, it breaks my heart because I just did a video saying I've finally got really good blood sugars. And so I would wake up with around 7 in the Australian standard, which is under 130 or something in the American standard. Now, don't quote me on that. I know the Australian standard off the top of my head, but the American standard is a little different. I may have to stop berberine, at least for a while. Now, I did do that in the past, and I didn't see much of an improvement. And this may be related to the beta blocker or drug-induced psoriasis situation, because apparently some people, even though they stopped the drug that was causing the psoriasis or making it worse, it didn't actually improve their psoriasis, which is really freaky. That's a bit of a worry. But I think what I'm going to try in my case, it might be worth a try. Let's just see what happens, because it's just getting out of control. I can't control it. The creams aren't working the doctor's giving me and everything. So this is my plan. Stop berberine. It breaks my heart. Number 2, I'm going to take vitamin D. Now, it seems like there's 2 different vitamin Ds. There's vitamin D2 and vitamin D3. And allegedly D3 is a better for humans to absorb. I noticed that my So Good soy milk has fortified with vitamin D2. So I'm going to take that every day. And I'm going to take D3 supplements. Now, even though I'm in Queensland and we get a lot of sun, and I've had my vitamin D levels checked before, and my vitamin D levels are fine. They're like 50. But apparently people with psoriasis still seem to have this issue with vitamin D. So I'm going to take that. I have been taking it. And now I'm going to, because Acarbose, which is Glucobay is a brand, has been found in mice at least actually make psoriasis better. I personally am going to try, rather than the berberine, I'm going to try 200 milligrams of Glucobay 3 times a day, which is the maximum dose that you can have. And the other thing, now if you're a person taking lithium, okay, and you need to take this, and you need to check with your doctor on all of this, as I said. Lithium carbonate or lithium can make psoriasis worse, I said earlier. But if you take inositol or inositol, however you pronounce it, it's a B vitamin. It's in the B group of vitamins, apparently. And it was something like between 2 and 6 grams a day was effective to help mitigate, to help control the negative effects of taking lithium on your psoriasis. So my mum's has bad psoriasis, and I couldn't get her to take inositol. But I'm going to try that. Now, apparently, going back to the beta blockers, it has something to do with how it deals with calcium in your skin, something like that. But anyway, so those are the things I'm going to have to try. My psoriasis is out of control. The steroid creams seem to spread it in my case. I said that to the dermatologist, and he said that is a possibility. In my case, I'm going to stop using steroid creams. I want an alternative. I have been trying 3% salicylic acid and 3% sulfur compound. I don't know. Doesn't really help. I don't know what to tell you about that. I'm not really seeing great benefits out of that. That was an idea that the chemist came up with. It's really good to see how positive berberine can be for some people, and I've spoken about this before. Please check my other videos. But I'm going to have to give it a rest for a while. It's probably a good idea that I give it a rest for a while. Now, when I did give it a rest for a while in the past, my psoriasis didn't actually get any better, which is not unusual, because if it's drug-induced psoriasis, then that is a possibility. But what my theory is, right, guys, is, you got to stop putting fuel on the fire. If this berberine is stirring up my psoriasis, and let me know if you've had this problem before, that you've definitely seen a link between your berberine stirring up your psoriasis, please let me know in the comments. If that's just stirring it up and it's putting fuel on the fire every single day, 500 milligrams tablets 3 times a day is a normal, research dose, then of course it makes sense to stop it for at least for a while, for several months, I think, before, if you see there's an improvement in your psoriasis. That's what I'm going to try. As I said, have a look at my previous video. My blood sugars were under control, really good. I'm still going to take Jardiance. So I'm still going to take Jardiance half a tablet, which is a SLGP2 inhibitor, antagonist, one of the two. Anyway, the brand name is Jardiance. It's pretty famous over the whole world. So half a tablet in my case I'm going to take, which I've been taking, which equates to, I believe it's 5 milligrams. I'm going to take now 200 milligrams of glucobay 3 times a day, morning, noon and night. And that's it. And these other things which I spoke about, the vitamin D, which I'm going to take up to 4,000 international units a day. So I'm taking 2 in the morning and 2 at night. I'm going to try inositol, which is, some of the research I saw was 3 grams a day at least in a Greek lady. Seemed to help her when she was on lithium. I'm not on lithium, but it's worth a try, I think. Alright guys, I hope that helped somebody out there. Let's see what happens. I'll tell you something, guys. I'll put this sheet down for a second. This is why sometimes I feel like, now thank God I got a pretty good IQ, okay? Sometimes I have, in fact, diagnosed and cured my own illnesses or treated my own illnesses. They couldn't find cancer in me. I went down to Sydney, got tested again, and I found my own cancer in me. I normalized or improved my blood sugars myself. I come up with and researched my sinus problems that had really bad sinusitis myself. And by the way, what it was with the sinusitis was allergy to sulfur dioxide, sulfur dioxide. If I have a wine with sulfur dioxide and I don't put hydrogen peroxide drops in it, 3%, which you can get, the oral wash is a 3%. You can get it from a pharmacist. There's a 3% oral wash, which is a cheaper way to do it. And I've put a couple of drops per glass in with a red wine, and most of the time that protects me against the sulfur dioxide. If I don't, it makes my sinuses really bad. I'll have to stay in bed, massive pain, and yeah. So those are the few things I've been able to treat or cure or get treatment for myself that doctors have missed. And please God, maybe I'm right about this. I noticed that, in my opinion, I think berberine unfortunately is making my psoriasis worse. Now there's no research anywhere on the internet that I can find that anybody's ever said it, because there's not a lot of information on berberine. Hope that helps, guys. Teacher Sal out. Remember to like, comment and subscribe, okay? Cheers.
Please Please like, comment, subscribe, and donate. Thank you.